local flankers cover all the bases. Lost in the battle of solitude and ordinance there with Cartesian coordinates to proceed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Whew. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
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 Thank you. Thanks.
Oh, thank you.
Deo, Deo.
Baby's got a burger and a sugar and that shake it won't go down. Baby's got a burger and a sugar and that shake it won't go down. Corrosion to her thighs, erosion of her pride. Baby's got sugar, baby's got corrosion now, corrosion now. Baby's got it.
Ho, ho, freaking ho. Yeah, he's a reindeer, but then his ears, things are green, and then you could see through. You know, we're gonna have to. Oh God, the pain, the pain. Let's put you right over there. You can still be here. He's usually here on Saturday nights, but he's here this morning for Chrimmuh. Merry Chrimmuh, everybody. It says Uncle Warren, but I'm Santa. Uncle Warren is sleeping off a bender. Had a little bit too much of Santa's cough medicine last night, so hopefully you can hear me. It's been a while since I used this thing, so we'll see what happens. It is Merry Chrimmuh. It is. It's December 25th. If you don't celebrate, that's fine. Tomorrow is Boxing Day in Canada, I believe, the 26th. So, happy Boxing Day. We have to do it like this. Like we're, in the 1900s. So it's a special edition of Morning Extra, nothing crazy. We're going to kind of, go over the top stories, some of the top stories, of 2025. And then, yeah, and do a little mutual aid stuff. Hopefully get some folks some help this morning. And that's what it's all about. That's what the holiday's really about is, you know, helping one another, giving amongst your, from yourself, without wanting anything in return. The spirit of giving is, it should be contagious. So let's go around the horn. Let's check out everybody on Rumble first. We got Hemp Cars over there. What's up, Hemp Car? Good to see you. That has to be we are all eating nanotechnology. Ooh, okay. We can let me copy link. Copy link. And then we're doing it freeform, kind of like we did the Black Friday show. So, which is totally fine. Let me see what this is. Ew. All right, we'll check that out. Yeah, if you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion fits? Put on the Ritz. No, if you're blue in the chat, that means you can put links in the chat. So if you got some stories you want us to cover today, we can do that. Ho, ho, ho to you, Miguel. Hemp Car, a dang guy, me baby, doing double duty on Rumble and on YouTube. And speaking of YouTube, of course, Miguel in the house. What's up? Ho, ho, ho to you too. Kameshwari Kate. Yes, one of our Canadians, one of our resident Canadians here at the show. She's going to be, I'm sure, doing something for Boxing Day tomorrow, or not. I don't know. Kate does some wild shit. I'm eating Starlight Mints too, by the way, because 'tis the season, and it helps kind of open up the old schnoz there for you. Who else we got here? Max RJ, Merc Chroma to you too. Who we got? Like we said, Dingo, Chuck's Intergalactic UFO Show, having a good old time out in space. I hope Space Santa got you some good space presents. I don't know what you wanted this year, but I did my best. I think I gave you an Atari 2600, or maybe a Pong console. I'm not quite sure. My memory ain't what it used to be. Hemp carb. Where is this? Why is this not letting me do this? Where is this? Why won't it let me do this? Oh, here we go. So hemp carb, $5 on Rumble. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for sharing the link. Merry Christmas. Oh, well, thank you. You didn't have to pay me. I was going to do it for free. That's nice. Dingo says, I could use some help with my chronic masturbation problem. Maybe you can give me a hand and we can beat it together. Oh, but tis. See, the pain of ripping off your antlers was nothing to that compared to that joke. Woo! That was a nice one. Let's see. Dingo doesn't exist. Off the top there, what's up? Doesn't exist. Jiminy, hurrah! Oh, good times. Well, the IG Space Santa gave you 0G pizza oven. It smokes nice. Zero gravity cooking. I wonder how they do that on the space station. They don't cook, right? They eat the little pouches. It's like college students eating ramen noodles, right? That's how they train astronauts. They take college students who've eaten a lot of ramen noodles and they say, hey, we know what you're doing. Okay. Let me check out. Everybody? I appreciate that, Hemcar. That was very sweet of you. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you. Murakruma. So as always, we talk about, I usually wait till the end of the show, but I want to today because, I care about my pals in this space, and, we'll talk about the mutual aid that, our friends here in the space, have some GoFundMes. Let's go through those. We'll go through these again at the end of the program. First off, of course, justice for Aspen. Poor girl was arrested in Georgia just for being a passenger in a car with somebody who committed a crime. And she had no idea that this person committed this crime. So she's dealing with legal fees, and hopefully you can help her out. Again, I know everybody's broke as a joke, but if you could share out the links are in the description down below. Really appreciate that. And I think that would be great for all these folks, especially our friends in the space. You know, our buddy Chanda, Chanda's been dealing with cancer, which came back. And you know, whenever cancer returns, it's not good, but it's not hopeless either. So if you can help her out, we appreciate it. Our friend Cowboy Kitty, his sister-in-law, Natalia, was taken by ICE, of course, over bullshit reasons, and she's in need of legal funds as well. Again, if you can't donate, please share the links. NoliDee and our friend Kevin at Black Bear News both lost their houses in fires, and you know, they could really use your help as well. Noli at her place. Kevin was on the Festivus show the other night and was talking about the Eaton fire that took his home. And it's just heartbreaking, you know, when you lose your home for any reason, right? Whether it's fire, whether it's, you know, some bullshit laws that make you pay exorbitant taxes and then you lose your home. I don't know. I want to try and stay positive today, but you know, Daddy Santa's also a realist too. So, Antiseptics. What stage of the Santa scale are you in? You believe in Santa. You don't believe in Santa. You are Santa. You look like Santa. What if you had sex with Santa? Is that a fifth option? I guess it is, but probably not for this thing. I didn't have sex with. I know people who have. They got a little bit more than just coal in their stockings, if you know what I'm saying. Hey, Stephanie spoken glass today. Happy, happy, joy, joy, y'all. One moment, please. Okay. Am I back? Okay. I'm a little out of practice. Sorry. So we're not going to really do like a super long show today. I know you guys got shit to do. As far as like, you know, doing Christmas stuff. And if you don't believe, or if you're like, you know, not into that, you know, if you got the day off, hopefully you're having a good time. 39 degrees here in Chicago, and cloudy, not snowy, although there's still technically snow on the ground from like a month ago, when we got a big dump. But otherwise, you know, everything's cool and groovy here. All right. So, I'm going to go over, this is from history.com, and this is basically a list of 2025 events that occurred, and they don't include some things. Just remember, history.com is also kind of shit libby. So please take that into account as we do this. They don't mention Luigi shooting the CEO. I think it was one of the big stories. They don't, you're going to see a lot of lists that don't have Eric, was it his name? Eric Luigi? Or maybe I'm thinking of somebody else, because of what he did, right? He's considered a terrorist. And while what he did was not exactly the most ideal thing that you want to think about, you know, you could probably understand, the motives behind it. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of violence. I'd like to exhaust all other options if possible. But, you know, when a cat gets cornered, the cat's not going to sit there and meow. A cat's going to scratch. So that's the way things work. Exactly. Free Luigi, you didn't do it. CBC voter, good morning. Happy Merry Chrimmuh. Happy Boxing Day Eve to you. What else we got here? So yeah, so take this list as you would, and we'll cover a few more stories. We're gonna kind of do this like I said, like we did the Black Friday show. Just kind of like hang out, talk amongst yourselves, and just you know, enjoy the day. If you ain't got nothing, but and you know you got to go somewhere. You know, you're ready to do something today. Go ahead, enjoy. Hope you have a good time. We'll be here for at least another 35 minutes or so. So let's get to it. I'm sitting here rambling. So 2025 events. And so January 1st of, I think it feels so far away, right? On New Year's Day, a man inspired by ISIS drove a Ford F-150 pickup into pedestrians on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, killing 14 people and injuring 57. I've been down in New Orleans for New Year's Eve and Mardi Gras, and you know, there's really no getting out of the way on those. The streets are very narrow, and you know, these buildings are old, so a lot of these support structures that are outside some of these places, you could just ram a car with that, and you know, it's not going to do anything. But has anyone ever seen Buffalo 66? No. I once had a I once had a Cleveland 69. Wait, what? No, that was a Cleveland steamer. I think that was a I don't know. I think it was a Brooklyn 69. Anyway, So yeah, there was the terrorist attack in New Orleans, allegedly inspired by ISIS. You know, they'll say that, but as we all know, propaganda and people lying are nothing new in this thing. It's kind of a random question there, Kate. Have you ever seen Disorderlies with the Fat Boys? There, you want a thing? Steve Breedlove, what's up? Merry Xmas to you. In the chat. So as we was talking about Kevin losing his house in the Eaton fire and the LA fires. There, the fire was started on January 7th, became fueled by extreme winds and spread to Los Angeles. The fires destroyed more than 16,000 structures, burned tens of thousands of acres in the Pacific Palisades and Altadena, and killed 29 people, raising concerns about climate change. Indeed, but as we said on the Festivus show the other night, LA is a very dry place, right? There's a lot of grassy areas. Giant fires have started simply by people just flicking cigarettes out the window, and you know, it's just so, I mean, they built this, it's like Vegas. They built this city on rock and roll and a desert, but mostly rock and roll. If you're a Jefferson Starship fan or a Starship fan. Let the snot flow. Let's keep going here. And then some of the, this is a water tanker over LA. The TikTok ban, remember that? The Supreme Court upheld a law requiring Chinese-owned tech company ByteDance to sell TikTok or have the popular social media app banned by January 19th. Apple and Google temporarily removed it from app stores when the law went into effect, but Trump intervened to grant multiple extensions indefinitely, postponing the ban and keeping Americans scrolling as members of the tech giant's 1.59 billion global users. But it was also bought up to by Zionists, so you can say goodbye to whatever good was in TikTok. TikTok, you don't stop, rock to the TikTok. I wanna sex you up. You remember that song? That was from that was early 90s. Can't remember who did that song. So Trump began his second term, obviously, in January, becoming only the second U.S. president in history to win 2 non-consecutive terms. I believe, who was the first one? Who was the first one to do non-consecutive? Somebody in the chat tell me. Who was the first president to win non-consecutive terms? That means they had a term, they ran for re-election, they lost, they ran again, and they won again. I want to say it was Teddy Roosevelt, but I don't think that's right. Maybe it was Warren G. Harding. I don't know. Warren G. and Nate Dogg. Hell yeah. Give you a little minty minter wonderland. I love those Starlight Mints, man. Timeless classic. They probably have microplastics and AIDS and all kinds of shit in there too, but you know, fuck it, you know, I'm just tired. I'm tired. With J.D. Vance as vice president, the second Trump administration launches sweeping policy changes on the size of the government to immigration, trade, and more. Trump created the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, by executive order. Its de facto leader, tech billionaire Elon Musk, called it a chainsaw for bureaucracy. Not really. By March, DOGE had fired 260,000 federal workers that he had no idea what they did. A lot of them did some very essential work. So kudos to being as stupid as you are, Elon. High-profile cuts, including the dismantling of the U.S. Agency for International Development, or USAID, and slashes across the Department of Education and National Institutes of Health, among others. Yeah. So, Nightbot, what are you doing in here? You need to get the fuck out of here. Still gotta fix that. Mid-air collision. Yes, this was the year once Trump took office again. It just seemed like planes and pilots, they stopped working or they stopped doing what they do and started crashing into each other. Starlight Mint and coffee. Delish. Yeah, if you got one of those candy canes, do yourself a favor. Get some hot coffee and just stick the candy cane in the side there and let it melt and let it do that. Yum, 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 yum. An American Airlines regional jet collided with a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter on January 29th over the Potomac River in Washington, D.C. As it approached Reagan National Airport, all passengers on both aircraft were killed. Grover Cleveland. Thank you. Speaking of Cleveland, yeah, he was the OG Cleveland steamer. Yeah, he was a big guy. I mean, he's no Clover, Clover. He's no Grover Buffalo, but yeah. The Trump administration, immigration crackdown, of course, too. Everybody's, this is an ongoing thing. Trump administration intensified its crackdown on illegal immigration, sending ICE agents to arrest individuals at work, home, and schools, even at the doctor's office. To house detainees, the administration created detainment centers like Florida's Alligator Alcatraz. ICE also announced plans to send migrants to countries other than their own via third country deportations. Cell phone videos of agents forcing people into unmarked cars went viral over social media. Okay, also there's the Sicat, El Salvador prison, too. That turned out to be the Abu Ghraib of the global south. Wow. Woo. I dropped my candy. I'm very rusty. Full disclosure, I've been using StreamYard the last few shows. We use it for the Undercurrent, me and Laine do. And I've been using it for guests lately. I really like it, and it's you get used to a certain program, and then all of a sudden you're on something else, and like wait. U.S. Border Patrol agents detain a worker in Charlotte, North Carolina, after he was apprehended at a construction site on November 19th. Yes, so they're coming after the people at the Home Depot, the day laborers out there who were looking for work. I go by there now, and now apparently Home Depot is supposed to be installing like some sort of sound weapons or something to keep them away. 2026 is just going to be, we thought 2025 was stupid, and it was. Don't get me wrong. It was pretty fucking stupid. 2026 is going to be much worse. So Trump tariffs with the Trump administration there in April. The Trump administration implemented a blanket 10% tariff on imports with higher duties for countries he deemed worst offenders. The hardest hit was China, which faced a 104% levy. China responded with strict export controls on rare earth minerals, and that's when the United States went, wait, what? You can't. No, we can only do that to you. You can't do that to us. I mean, this that I did not know, and I really don't care about, because she's a Zionist bitch. But on February 2nd, Beyonce extended her record as the most awarded artist in Grammy history, bringing home her first ever Album of the Year award for Cowboy Carter. She also became the first black woman to win Country Album of the Year. Beyonce doing country, folks. Yeah. There you go. I really don't know what to say about that. I think she'd be wearing a cowboy hat or something here. U.S. airstrikes in Yemen. Back in March, U.S. airstrikes on Houthi-controlled areas of Yemen killed dozens and wounded over 100. Trumpy targeted Iranian-backed Houthi rebels in retaliation for maritime attacks on American shipping interests in and around the Red Sea. Controversy erupted when Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth discussed plans for the attack in a group chat on the private messaging app Signal. Yeah, that was back in March. A ceasefire agreement was reached in May. Ceasefire, of course, always in air quotes when it comes to that kind of thing. Actually, the ceasefire was reached because they knew they knew they couldn't beat the Houthis, and the Houthis were kicking their ass and sinking their ships. They're like, okay, we won't do nothing to you if you don't do anything to us. That's right. Yeah, Houthi control. Yeah, they did. Yeah, the people support them too. That's the thing. They've always been trying to do some sort of coup to get what's his name, the Houthi guy that runs the joint, who runs the Ansar Assault, Anwar Sadat. What was the fuck? I can't remember the name, but that Houthi guy, he runs the joint. Anyway, I know I'm not exactly. When you read the shit every day, you know. I know his last name's Houthi. That's why they call him Houthi. Weight loss drugs and a new pope. That sounds like a weird 80s new wave band. 5 scientists, as the weight loss drugs recognized, 5 scientists who developed the weight loss drugs Ozempic and Wegovy were awarded the $3 million U.S. Breakthrough Prize on April 7th. The drugs originally created to treat diabetes were used by nearly 12% of Americans. And the one where it makes you time travel or some shit. Ansar Allah, thank you. I was close. Anwar Sadat. Same. Never mind. Following the death of Pope Francis in April 21st, Chicago-born Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost became the first American pope on May 8th. He chose the papal name Leo the 14th. He was going to use John Holmes the First, but apparently that was a little too on the nose for the Catholic Church. Wars in Gaza and Ukraine. So war in Gaza protests hostages releases ceasefire. The war in Gaza triggered by an attack on Israel on October 7th by Hamas fueled a wave of pro-Palestinian demonstrations around the world. Universities became flashpoints in a renewed debate on free speech. A Columbia University protest in May led to arrests, expulsions, and revoked degrees, intensifying debates about anti-Semitism, divestment, and academic freedom. A temporary ceasefire announced January 15th led to the release of 33 living hostages and the bodies of several deceased hostages by Hamas in exchange for more than 1,700 Palestinian prisoners held by Israel. In September, the death toll in the war reached 65,000, according to Gaza's health ministry. But of course, those numbers are way, way low. That month, a UN commission concluded that Israel had committed acts of genocide as defined by international law against Palestinians in the Gaza Strip, a claim that Israel and others strongly rejected. Of course they would. By October, months of pressure culminated in a U.S. brokered ceasefire and peace plan, although implementation remained shaky through the year's end with both sides citing violations. Mostly, Israel was citing violations because they were getting shit hammered with accusations of breaking the ceasefire. See, the thing is, when you prove something against Israel, more often than not, you have proof. It's like, see, this is the proof that you did said shit, right? Whereas Israel says, well, you know, so-and-so did this and that and the other thing, and they did this thing. Okay, where's your proof? Wait, that's your proof? Is shrugged shoulders, hands raised, and an EH? Sorry. Yeah. And they just turned Gaza to rubble. And they're not genociders. No, not at all, right? The year 2025 saw the highest civilian casualties since the Russia-Ukraine war broke out in 2022. Russia made incremental territorial gains throughout the year, especially around Pokrovsk, Huliayop. Oh, God damn you. God damn you, Russia, and Ukraine, and your fucking names. I didn't think I was going to have trouble with this today. Pokrovsk, Huliayop, and the Kharkiv and Zaporizhia. regions. I swear to God, I'm not drunk or stoned. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky announced discussions on a peace settlement with Western partners while the U.S. temporarily halted some weapon shipments, citing stockpile concerns. National Guard in cities, lawmakers shot, and a new comet walk into a bar. Starting in June, Trump deployed the National Guard to Democratic-led cities, including Los Angeles, Chicago, D.C., Portland, and Memphis, citing a need to deter violent crime and protect federal immigration facilities. In November, 2 members of the National Guard were shot in Washington, D.C. by an Afghan national. So, yeah. And in all these cases, I would say most of these cases, I know for D.C. and Chicago, that the crime rates were already getting lower. They didn't need these troops to come in. That's just Trump being a dick. On June 14th, 2 Minnesota lawmakers were shot at their homes in an act of politically motivated violence. State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband were killed at their home in Brooklyn Park, and State Senator John Hoffman and his wife were injured at their Champlin residence. Yeah. A lot of assassination attempts and successes this year. The Atlas Survey Telescope in Chile discovered interstellar comet 3I Atlas based on observations and reported the finding in July. The find sparked theories of extraterrestrial life. It's only the 3rd known object from outside our solar system to be observed from Earth. So yeah, there was Oumuamua was the first one, and there was another one that just kind of looked like a regular comet, but it was weird too. So when you wonder what 3I means when in this classification, the I means interstellar, and the 3 means the third. So it would be 3I would be third interstellar. And Atlas was the place, or whoever it was that discovered it. So just so you know, Hubble captured this image of the interstellar comet 3I Atlas on July 21st. And it's doing some weird shit, like the tail. There's supposed to be a tail behind it, but the tail was in front of it. Now the tail's in front of it when it's supposed to be, or it's behind it. Now it's supposed to be. Yeah, I know. There's some weird shit. Chuck, you need to check in with these guys and see what they're doing. See if they're coming by for a visit. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce became engaged in August. Okay, there you go. Just for that. The arms race for AI infrastructure intensified in 2025. OpenAI released GPT-5 in August. In November, Google responded with the launch of Gemini 3, prompting a code red within OpenAI, which released GPT 5.2 this month. The one-upsmanship mirrored the geopolitical competition for AI dominance following China's launch of DeepSeek R1. The Trump administration announced a $500 billion Stargate project with OpenAI, SoftBank, and Oracle. That's Larry Ellison, in a bid to keep the U.S. at the forefront. And then, it's not a star, not yet a comet. It's not a star because it doesn't have a good agent. If you had a good agent, you'd probably be in some hot movies and, anyway, sorry. What happened? Yeah. And then this is just the start, right? I know a lot of people are not big into AI. Some people use it sparingly. Some people depend on it like it's their best friend. And I'm just like, yes, I understand the dangers of AI, right? But I also want people to understand that there's different types of AI too, right? This stuff right now that produces what the kids call slop, the slop AI things, that's more of your commercial type stuff. A lot of those are freebies to get your beak wet into AI. And if you actually want to use AI like ChatGPT, which is also linked to Sora that does the video stuff, you need to pay like around $200 a month to get those services, take out the watermarks and stuff like that. But that's like commercial shit, right? And somebody made a good point on Twitter about this. They said that actual human artists, because there's going to be so much AI slop out there, that that artwork actually created by humans is going to become more valuable, at least more appreciated, right? And because people are going to get tired of this AI slop and all this bullshit, and they're going to want some actual artwork that had emotion and human consciousness behind it, right? So that, I mean, if there's anything, that's a good thing for artists, right? Maybe commercial artists who are trying to make a buck now are probably going to get screwed, but you know, that if voiceover artists are getting screwed too by AI, and pretty soon you're probably going to see TV shows and movies that are totally AI. In fact, watched a commercial last night. I can't remember what it was for. It was all AI. It was all AI. I think the Coca-Cola Christmas, their holiday commercial, I think that's all AI too. Longtime listener over on the Rumble. Pretty sure Steve Bannon is just AI slop. Yeah, probably. What's up, Steve? Steve Wolfbrand in the house. Mer Chrimmuh to you and all y'all. Right. But Miguel, it's going to get to the point you're not going to be able to tell the difference. It's all slop right now. I mean, everybody points to the, what is it? The Fresh Prince eating spaghetti, and it looks like this nightmare, like something out of somebody's PCP dream or something. That was the beginning. Remember deep fakes when they were putting other people's faces on people's bodies and you couldn't tell the difference? I'm just saying, man, tell your friends that aren't in the know, tell them they need to start paying attention, because if you thought the propaganda was bad up to this point, and it has been, it's going to be a hell of a lot worse. And pretty soon you're not going to have audio or video evidence that's going to be allowed in courts, because you're not going to know if it's AI or not. Just saying, just let the buyer beware. And that's the commercial shit. All right. Now, I'm not even talking about the AGI, the artificial general intelligence that actual governments are working on. That's the scary shit. Let's see. Let me see if I can do this real quick. Let me get out of this for a second. Hi, everybody. I want to get this thing up here. I think the name of the video. Come on, you slow piece of shit. What's going on here? Okay, let me
By now, you've probably...
Shh. You don't get that. Copy the video. Okay, I'm going to put in the chat the link to this video in YouTube. I highly recommend you guys checking it out. It's only... It's 37 minutes long, but it's 37 minutes of pure nightmare fuel. So yeah, I think that's the link right there. And the name of it, let me put that in there too. We're just kind of taking our time today. Let me put that in there. So it's called AI 2027, a realistic scenario of AI takeover. And yeah, definite nightmare fuel. Okay. Maybe one night I'll do an Extra Bulla live and we can watch the video and talk about it as we go along. But we'll see how that works. Hey, Willie Bragg in the house. What's going on, buddy? Mer Chrimmuh to you over there near Titty Mountain. Willie, we had too much fun with you the other night. I you know what? Wait a second. Since we're here, if you hadn't figured it out today, folks, I'm just winging it. So the other night, Willie was on for Festivus, and I'm sure he probably doesn't want me to play this, but I'm going to play it anyway, because I feel like I should. If I can actually find this, where the hell? There it is. Okay, very good. Okay, good. I think this is it. And Willie's just... There we go. That's a little loud. All right. So this is from the other night. I know, sidebar. We'll get back to the top 25 here in just a second. So this is from the other night. Our buddy Willie Bragg having a snooze. And Willie's asleep. Willie Bragg, you asshole! You wake the fuck up, you piece of shit, you fuckface! Wake up, you ass face fucker! Look at him! Wait a minute, where is he?
He's gone.
Let him sleep.
There he is.
Let him sleep. The man works hard.
What time is it? Bedtime.
He works hard.
He's off! He's off work, he ain't gonna do nothing! No, I'm just fucking with Willie, you just... Let's see that again. So there's Willie Bragg. There's a live shot. Willie Bragg sleeping in his house with a nice British flag behind him from the UK and those balls on the tree. Check out those balls back there. Those are Willie Bragg's balls back there.
And I got my
I'm
balls
communicating to you psychically with my eyes closed. I'm just resting my eyes. I'm perfectly here and paying attention to everything. Willie,
we love you to death, man. That's the only reason I would play that, because we celebrate you. So please, Willie's probably like, you motherfucker. Oh yeah, that was a good time. So yeah, if you didn't get a chance to watch the Festivus show, please do. It was very good conversation. We had Laine P on there, Marcus was on there, Kevin from Black Bear News, Bread and Circuses, our buddy Chris, my buddy Chris Peon, Chuck's Intergalactic UFO show was on there. It was a good time had by all, so I highly recommend watching that if you haven't get a chance to. All right, so back to the countdown. Let's talk about fictional K-pop group goes to #1. So here's this thing too, right? So I've been seeing this on Spotify that you have a lot of AI music that people are like thousands and thousands of people are listening to, and it's just AI. It's just AI. So in September, the fictional K-pop group, K-pop Demon Hunters. Well, I guess that's not their name. Dominated real music charts when Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters, I guess that's a movie, hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. It was the first time a K-pop girl group, real or fictional, reached the top slot. The movie became the most watched Netflix film of all time. It's like it's I guess I should probably have that. It's like that in Idiocracy, when Ass the movie was won like 8 Academy Awards or some shit. Willie, please, you to be fair, Willie contributed a lot to the show, but Willie works overnights, and Willie didn't get a chance to sleep that day. And Willie, when you're about, I'm just telling you, when you're around a bunch of, you're just lucky you weren't in the same room with us, because we probably would have drew dicks on your face, because that's what people do when you fall asleep at a party and then somebody draws dicks on your face, because that's a rite of passage, maybe. Keeping on here, the Kirk assassination, boat strikes, and the government shutdown. Yes, all that happened within a consolidated amount of time too. Probably the first time I've ever seen anyone just totally conk out on a live stream. Willie is a pioneer, although I hear Warhol did a film of someone sleeping in the 60s. Yeah, true. Don't apologize. You made the Festivus celebration amazing. We had a chance to celebrate how hard you work, of course. Yes, of course we support nap time. yeah. So Willie, feel free to pass out on my show anytime you want. And if anybody else is suffering from insomnia out there, you know, yeah, your boy's got, I'm not a doctor, but I can help you fall asleep real quick. So conservative activist Charlie Kirk was shot and killed on September 10th. While at Utah Valley University, Kirk was speaking at an event organized by Turning Point USA, a conservative grassroots group he founded to mobilize conservative young people. Kirk's assassination and the reaction to it exposed deep divisions within the country. Yeah, because Kirk pretty much said that he thought Israel was going to kill him, and then he died. I'm not saying 2 + 2. Put them together, but how you do math, that's your business. But a lot of speculation around his wife and his apparently rethinking some of his relationships with Israel. I believe Netanyahu wanted to give him I can't remember how it was, like $100 million or something crazy amount. But he didn't want to be bought by Israel. I never liked Charlie Kirk. I thought he was a piece of shit. Because he was a liar, and he did say a lot of propaganda stuff to piss people off. If he was trying to turn a corner at the end, I'm sorry for him. I hope that was the case, that he did realize what the hell, that he was been a puppet this whole time. But I don't know. Maybe not. On November 13th, the U.S. military officially launched Operation Southern Spear. Under the mission, the military began attacking small boats in the Caribbean and Eastern Pacific that were allegedly carrying drugs to the United States. The attacks have killed more than 80 people and sparked international concern about their legality. I think it's in the 90s now. And no investigation. They just saw these boats in the Caribbean, assumed they were drug boats, blowed them up, and then when people got out, when some of them survived, they capped them too. It's to say it's illegal is one thing, but that's they may be a harbinger of things to come here in the United States, unfortunately. So, of course, the U.S. government shutdown began on October 1st and lasted 45 days, making it the longest in history. It rattled stock markets, forced 730,000 federal employees to work without pay, canceled thousands of flights due to a stretched-thin FAA, and left 42 million SNAP recipients without food benefits, some of which people are still recovering from that bullshit with SNAP. The failure to reach a consensus cost the United States $11 billion in adjusted GDP. I'm sure that's what they did lose that, but I'm pretty sure it ended up in Israel somehow, because all our money ends up there, right? The Louvre heist, the Epstein files, and the Sudan Civil War. I think this is towards the... Hello. I don't know who you are. We'll find out. On October 19th, 4 masked thieves stole jewels worth more than $100 million from the Louvre Museum in Paris. The daytime heist shocked the world and inspired masterful memes. A tiara that belonged to Empress Eugenie was later found damaged along the escape route, but the rest of the stolen goods remain at large. At least 7 people were eventually arrested in connection with the theft. Not this lady. I don't know who that is. I don't know. You can go away. Antwerp dies out. Antwerp, Flargen. After months of Epstein, after months of delay and bitter discord, Congress passed and Trump signed legislation on November 19th, compelling the Justice Department to release a body of documents detailing the criminal activities of American financier and convicted child sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The files offered a more detailed look at the wealthy and influential people, including Trump, who spent time with Epstein. Yeah. And what's funny though, and then they released them and they're all redacted, but then you could take some of those documents and put them into a program and you could see through the redactions, which is so funny, which is just a testament to how stupid the government is. Unless they wanted you to see those. That was their way of saying, we'll redact these in a way that some smarty pants can unearth them in a in another program. Sudan civil war reaches deadly milestone. By November, the civil war in Sudan became the largest recorded and fastest displacement crisis in the world, with more than 12 million people forced to flee their homes. You know, a lot of the emphasis has been on Gaza this year and their displacement of a couple million people. And of course, as extremely important a story as that was, a lot of times the what's been happening in the Sudan has just been overlooked. We've tried to cover it as much as we can here on this show, but yeah, it's 12 million people. I mean, we're talking the entire population of New York City, probably combined with, I don't know. I think there's around 12 million people in the metropolitan area of New York City. And try displacing that many people. That would be insane. Hey, Willie gets respect. Hey, I tell you, I get no respect. We respect the hell out of Willie around here. And of course, recently the shootings at Brown and in Sydney, a masked man murdered 2 students and injured 9 when he opened fire in a crowded classroom of students preparing for their final exams on December 13th. The Brown University campus was locked down for 12 hours. There was also a shooting at MIT. Someone working on cold fusion there was murdered as well. And then the Bondi Beach Hanukkah massacre on December 14th. Father and son opened fire at a Hanukkah celebration at Bondi Beach in Sydney, Australia. At least 16 people were killed, including Holocaust survivor Alexander Kleitman and a 10-year-old child. 42 people were taken to the hospital. The shooting was deemed an act of terrorism and closed out a year of heightened anti-Semitic violence around the world. And what they failed to mention, of course, and as I mentioned earlier, was Luigi, who shot the health insurance CEO. Was it Pfizer? Was that the guy? Was that the person he shot? I can't remember. Was that everything? I think I know there's more stories. I know there's more stories that we missed that this thing's not going to cover. Wait, what was let me see if I can pull up that story again. One moment, please. Let's see. Ding 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 ding. So I guess let me find the good I don't want to use some bullshit thing here. Okay, maybe we could use this one. All right, go away. Maybe later. All right. So this is the latest with Luigi Mangione. So his lawyers fight death penalty, saying Pam Bondi is biased. Lawyers for Luigi Mangione are attempting to avoid the death penalty. So this was Saturday. He's attempting to avoid the death penalty and throw out 2 federal charges in the Justice Department's case against him, arguing that Attorney General Pam Bondi is biased because she used to work at a lobbying firm that represents United Health Group. How about that, right? In court documents filed on Friday, Mangione's lawyers said that Bondi has isn't that weird that her last name is Bondi and then the Bondi Beach shooting? I don't know. I don't know if it's synchronicity or some shit. Whatever. His lawyer said that Bondi had a profound conflict of interest because her former employer, Ballard Partners, a DC-based lobbying firm founded by the Trump donor Brian Ballard, counts United Health Group as one of its clients. United Health Group is the parent company of United Healthcare, its healthcare insurance division. Bondi became a lobbyist with Ballard Partners in 2019 after her term as Florida Attorney General ended. She officially left the firm upon her appointment as Attorney General earlier this year. So she came right out of that lobbying spot right into Attorney General. No conflict of interest whatsoever. What? Okay. While it's unclear whether Bondi ever directly worked with United Healthcare Group as a lobbyist, Mangione's lawyers are seeking to investigate the Attorney General's ties to Ballard and its relationship with United Health Group, including Bondi's compensation with the firm and directions she's given Justice Department employees in Mangione's case. Mangione's lawyers are arguing that this alleged conflict of interest, along with comments Bondi has made about Mangione that his lawyers described as overtly political. What? Pam Bondi saying overtly political shit? You never hear about that. Should encourage the court to throw out the possibility of the death penalty, along with removing 2 federal charges and tossing out certain evidence from the case. A hearing is scheduled for January 9th at the U.S. Court for the Southern District of New York in Manhattan. The Justice Department and Ballard did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Mangione is accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson outside a hotel in Manhattan on December 4th last year. Wow, I can't believe that's been over a year. After a 5-day manhunt, Mangione was arrested at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Law enforcement say they found bullets and a notebook attacking the insurance industry with Mangione when he was arrested. When Bondi stepped in as Attorney General, the Justice Department announced that it would seek the death penalty for Mangione, calling the killing a premeditated, cold-blooded assassination that shocked America. And you killed my favorite boss. And now I can't go back to work there. After careful consideration, I have directed federal prosecutors to seek the death penalty in this case as we carry out Trump's agenda to stop violent crime. We're going to stop violent crime with violence and make America safe again, Bondi said in a statement at the time. Now, here's a little fun tip for some of the kids at home. When the government says they're trying to make you safe, they're not trying to make you safe. They're trying to make themselves safe, but they're not trying to make you safe. A few weeks later, Margaret Garnett, the federal judge overseeing the case, cautioned Bondi and other Justice Department officials against making public commentary on the case, which could bias future jurors. See, that's why you don't talk about ongoing cases, I guess. In Friday's court filing, Mangione's lawyers said that Bondi's comments and her seeking the death penalty show that she is acting based on politics, not merit. Any criminal defendant, let alone one whom the government is trying to kill, is due a criminal process that is untainted by the financial interests of his prosecutors, the lawyers wrote. Well, yeah, you would think, but this is, there's a new sheriff in town. Mangione is represented by a husband and wife team of lawyers, Karen Friedman Agnifilo and Mark Agnifilo. So Karen and Mark, I guess if you're going to have a lawyer, so if her name's Karen, that might actually help. She might be tenacious. In court filings in November, federal prosecutors said that the federal case should carry on as usual, noting that pretrial publicity, even when intense, is not itself a constitutional defect. What the defendant recasts as a constitutional crisis is merely a repackaging of arguments, prosecutors wrote. None warrants dismissal of the indictment or categorical preclusion of a congressionally authorized punishment. The court filing comes after a weeks-long pretrial hearing for the state charges Mangione faces for the killing after his lawyers were able to get 2 top state charges thrown out of the case for first-degree murder and second-degree murder. His lawyers are now trying to get certain evidence they say was illegally gathered removed from the case. The ruling for this pretrial hearing, where the judge will decide what evidence stays in the case, is expected in May. So, you know, I guess that's why they didn't add that to this year, because it was I could have sworn he allegedly did that this year. But it was right at the end of last year. Yeah, free Luigi, man. If you don't like what Luigi did, you should probably look into it and see why he did it. I'm not saying, I'm just saying that's probably the thing. Go start. What's up? And Ellen. Happy Festivus. You're a couple days late there. That's all right. You know, Ellen, we're gonna get you on the next Festivus show. Actually, I need to get you on the show anyway. We should have you on Extra Bulla Live and have a nice little chat. So let me know if you're down for that, and I'll hit you up in your DMs, and we'll make those dreams come true. If they are dreams, probably not. What happened? Here we are. How's everybody doing? Merry Christmas. Merry Chrimmuh. I hope you and yours are having a splendid time wherever you are in the world. If you don't celebrate Christmas, I hope you're enjoying the day nonetheless. So I think for the rest of the time here, we can talk about some stories. I love going to first off, shout out to antiwar.com. I've been doing this particular show since July 2024, so about a year and a half. And this has been my go-to for many stories, especially regarding the military and the Middle East. But they also they do a lot of good journalism and other topics as well. So antiwar.com, bookmark that if you want good, solid journalism, good information. These guys hook it up. So we have some things to talk to you about. So let's talk about this pulled 60-minute segment on El Salvador prison, which aired in Canada. So this is from The Hill. Can we do this? Oh, yikes. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to have that reaction. That's just too much face too soon. I'm sorry. It could be anybody. Really? Pop up, McGee? A CBS News segment focused on stories of Venezuelan men detained in a notorious El Salvador prison after being deported by the Trump administration has sparked controversy among viewers after it was blocked from airing in the U.S., but was showcased in Canada and online. CBS News editor-in-chief Barry Weiss, not Barry White. I don't think Barry White would do that. Pulled Inside CCOT from running on 60 Minutes, explaining that the story was not, quote, ready. It hasn't been Zionized enough, apparently. But correspondent Sharon Alfonsi alleged the decision was not an editorial decision, but instead political. Shocking. Shocking. Ellen, awesome. I will DM you this week. Maybe we'll do it for once the holidays are past, and I know you got stuff to do. And we'll get together, and I'll bring you on. It should be a good time. We love Ellen. She's I met her through Due Dissidence. She's been on their show a few times. Very brilliant lady, and very sweet. I think if you don't know who she is, you'll find out soon, little mister or little missy or whatever you are. Holding stories that aren't ready for whatever reason, that they lack sufficient context, say, or that they are missing critical voices, happens every day in every newsroom. I look forward to airing this important piece when it's ready, Weiss said in a statement. No, that's not. I've worked in newsrooms. We never ran stories. Yeah, if we held stories, it was because for lack of sufficient context, or that they were missing critical voices or critical elements of the story. In journalism, you provide both sides of the story, whether you agree with them or not. And as a journalist, you're supposed to be kind of impartial, right? But we're all human, and journalists are human too, and so they have their own beliefs and stuff. But it's a fine line to ride. And Barry Weiss is like, nah. So, sometimes you have to use propaganda. Sometimes you do have to use editing to change the context. While the recently named editor-in-chief prevented the report from airing domestically, the episode briefly appeared on Global TV's free website and app Monday and remained available for 2 hours until it was removed, according to the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. Sorry, get the burpees. It was quickly shared among social media users online. CBS did not immediately respond to requests for comment about why the report was aired in the Great White North, but restricted in the United States. Our story was screened 5 times and cleared by both CBS attorneys and Standards and Practices, Alfonsi wrote in an internal email reported by NBC News. It's factually correct. In my view, pulling it now after every rigorous internal check has been met is not an editorial decision. It is a political one. Exactly. In an editorial column Monday morning, Weiss said she held a 60-minute story because it was not ready, a source told the outlet. Weiss joined CBS News earlier this year after Paramount Skydance acquired her publication, The Free Press. Prior to ascending to the helm of CBS News, Weiss was known for leaving her job as a columnist at the New York Times after criticizing the outlet and others in the mainstream media for groupthink and partisanship. Weiss reportedly told staffers Monday she held a Fonzie segment while pushing for her to get the Trump administration principles on the record and on camera, according to NBC News. What? No Erica Kirk? I thought every story at CBS Now had Erica Kirk in it. While the story presented powerful testimony of torture at CCOT, it did not advance the ball. The Times and other outlets have previously done similar work, she said, according to that source. However, Alfonsi said she made numerous requests for comment to the Department of Homeland Security, which referred them to officials at CCOT who reportedly never responded. Shocking, I know. Some have argued the piece was focused on the hundreds of prisoner subjects and not the administration, thus was complete without comment from it. A free press. Oh man, Rokana. He's the Dollar Tree Ray Romano. A free press isn't free if stories don't get shelved just because the powerful don't talk. Rokana said. He wrote in a social media post, CBS pulling the CCOT story on Venezuelan deportees sent to El Salvador's brutal prison erodes trust. We are losing trust that government and media serve us, not the elite. It's fucking Muppet, man. I swear to God. It's like, dude, do a little self-reflection, okay? Alfonsi said men described torture, sexual, and physical abuse inside CCOT, one of El Salvador's harshest prisons, where they say they endured 4 months of hell throughout the segment. Felipe Bolopion, executive director of Human Rights Watch, said he supported the report airing for broader awareness of CCOT's conditions after the organization published an 81-page report in November about abuses. We look forward to the segment airing, Bolopian, like fallopian? That's a weird name. Told CNN, the evidence is clear regardless of what airs on 60 Minutes. The Trump administration disappeared these Venezuelan men to a mega prison in El Salvador where they were systematically tortured. Well, that's what the U.S. does. They love them some prisons and they love them some torture. So, yeah. That's the latest on that. How's everybody doing? Orange whip, orange whip, orange whip. Everybody good? You guys doing okay? Let's talk about those tankers down in Venezuela. We're going to go to the cradle here next. Come on. There you go. When you click the thing, it should work. All right. So U.S. piracy cripples Venezuela's oil industry as ports pile up with tankers. Washington's illegal blockade of Venezuela and its theft of oil tankers in Caribbean waters have paralyzed the country's oil industry, according to several reports in Western media. Maybe. With millions of barrels of oil stuck at its ports. Venezuela's ports are piling up with tankers filled with oil as officials fear releasing them into international waters and into the crosshairs of the United States. Tankers bound for Venezuela have turned around midway, shipping data shows. The New York Times reported yesterday, or Monday, Tuesday? Tuesday, yeah. This is one of the things there. I don't know if it's going to let me do it. So... yeah, there might as well be, the United States might as well be Somali pirates at this point, right? Somali pirates with less honor. How about that? According to data from the monitoring service tankertrackers.com, cited by Reuters, an increasing number of loaded tankers remain stuck at Venezuela's ports, with some forced to return days after setting sail in fear of marauding U.S. vessels. More than a dozen loaded vessels are in Venezuela waiting for new directions from their owners after the U.S. seized the supertanker Skipper, little buddy, earlier this month and targeted 2 additional vessels on the weekend, the British news outlet reported on Tuesday. Apparently, the supertanker Gilligan didn't even make it out of port and sank because Gilligan can never get off the island. According to reports, state oil company PDVSA or PDVSA has started filling tankers with crude and fuel oil and anchoring them in Venezuelan waters due to a rapidly filling backlog of onshore tanks. Venezuela's daily crude production is approximately 1.1 million barrels. We're going to keep it. Maybe we'll sell it. Maybe we'll keep it. Maybe we'll use it in the strategic reserve. We're keeping the ships also. Trumpy told reporters in Florida Monday after unveiling a new class of battleships named after himself, of course. As of today, Washington has seized 2 oil tankers off the coast of Venezuela. U.S. naval forces remain in pursuit of a third tanker, the Bella 1, which refused capture and remains in international waters. After the initial seizure of the Skipper tanker on December 10th, Caracas began dispatching naval vessels to accompany some tankers. What the... You better get out of here. The government is considering going further and putting armed soldiers on tankers bound for China, the main importer of Venezuelan oil. Such a move would complicate the U.S. Coast Guard's attempts to interdict them, but it could also draw Maduro into a military conflict against an armada of U.S. Navy warships, the New York Times reports. Per international law, the U.S. has no legal standing to enforce unilateral coercive sanctions in international waters or extraterritorially. This is a theme with Trump: is break the law until you get sued in court, and then you're told you can't do it again. And this is I don't know how this is going to go to court, or maybe this is going to go to war. Who knows? As Washington's regime change attempts against Venezuela continue to intensify, the UN Security Council convened on Tuesday for an emergency session called by Caracas to condemn the illegal seizures. The White House acts outside of international law, demanding that Venezuelans vacate our country and hand it over. This is the greatest extortion known in our history, Venezuela's envoy to the UN, Samuel Moncada, said. The masks have come off. It's not drugs that the U.S. is after. It's not security. It's not freedom. It's oil. It's mines. And it's land, he stressed. Yeah, well, the same thing that they want to do with Greenland. Moncada also warned other Latin American nations that U.S. ambitions are continental, highlighting that Venezuela is only the first target of a larger plan. The U.S. government wants us to be divided so it can conquer us piece by piece, he added. Russia's envoy to the UN, Vasily Nebenzia, strongly condemned the blockade of Venezuela and Washington's cowboy behavior. Washington's responsibility for the catastrophic consequences of such cowboy behavior for the residents of the blockaded country is also obvious. Unfortunately, there is every reason to believe that the U.S. actions against Venezuela are not a one-off. This unfolding intervention could become a template for future military actions against Latin American states, Nebenzia noted. China, which receives the majority of Venezuela's daily oil exports, sharply criticized Washington's measures, cautioning that they are threatening peace. Beijing's deputy permanent representative to the UN, Sun Lei, accused the U.S. of violating international norms, stressing that Washington's actions seriously infringe upon other countries' sovereignty, security, and legitimate rising interests, gravely violate the UN Charter and international law, and threaten peace and security in Latin America and the Caribbean. As an independent sovereign state, Venezuela has the right to independently develop mutually beneficial cooperation with other countries and defend its legitimate rights and interests, which should be respected and supported by the international community, Sun added. You would think. According to a recent YouGov poll in the U.S., only a fraction of respondents support the blockade of Venezuela. Surprise, surprise. So this is Max Blumenthal on the tweeters. Let's see if we can... please don't show nudes. Please don't show nudes. Here we go. Okay, so U.S. taking military action in Venezuela. 30% would favor, 70% said fuck off. U.S. military action in Venezuela would make amount of drugs entering U.S. Make the amount of drugs entering the U.S. Over half people said it's not going to change. 37% are stupid, think it's going to decrease, and 7% think it's going to increase. I'm probably with the 7% because probably other drugs are going to come in too. Is Venezuela a threat to U.S. security? So around 61% said either it's a major or minor threat, and 39% said no, not a threat. Or actually, like 80, if you want to look at it this way, 87% said minor or not a threat, and only 13% says what's Venezuela going to do? They're not going to invade the United States. People are so stupid. Has Trump administration clearly explained U.S. position on military action in Venezuela? No. He hasn't. Yeah, so that's Max Blumenthal there. How do I do this? Can I do this? Wait a minute. Sorry. So where we go? Okay, we get rid of that. Woohoo! All right. So that's crazy, right? How and then, we were talking about this the other night on the Festivus show. Marcus was talking about how China sent a ship over to Jamaica, and they're just like, hey, y'all, what's going on? Oh, good stuff. I'm telling you, if you drink coffee in the morning, do yourself a favor. Get you one of those little mints, little peppermint mints, and drop them in there, let it melt, or get you a little drop of peppermint oil, not too much. Because it's like, what is that? It said, oh shit, I can't remember. Too much peppermint, and that's all you're going to taste. And if you like peppermint coffee, that might be good too. So that was from the Cradle. Let's look over here on Common Dreams. I like using Common Dreams. Their website, yeah, they kind of get a little shit libby. Sorry. There we go. Woohoo! Sitting on my sleigh here. But they do a lot of good domestic coverage. So, as well. Let's see here. What we got here? So we already did that. Oh yeah, here's something else to piss you off. You see these assholes. Latest GDP figures show rich reaping rewards as working class continues to suffer under Trump. It says under Trump, but they were suffering under Biden too. Do not get it twisted. Please do not get it twisted. Yeah, stupidness could create more stupidness. It usually does. So Trump's allies this week hyped up newly released data showing that the U.S. the economy grew by more than 4% in the third quarter of 2025. But economists and journalists who dove into the report's finer details found some troubling signs. How about that? What? You mean Trump overstating something and lying about it? No, you never hear about that. Ron Insana, that's a insane name almost. Sorry. A finance reporter and a former hedge fund manager told MS Now's, that's right, it's not MSNBC anymore, it's MS Now, Stephanie Rule on Tuesday night that there is a split economy in which growth is being driven primarily by spending from the top 20% of income earners, whom he noted accounted for 63% of all spending in the economy. On the other side, I'm just going insane. I'm just all right. On the other side, Insana pointed to retail sales data that painted a very different picture for those on the lower end of the income scale. Sorry, I get stuck in mental ruts there. When you look at lower income individuals, nearly half of them are using buy now, pay later for their holiday shopping, he said. So we have this real split. People at the top are doing fine. People in the middle and lower income brackets are struggling a bit, to say the least. Dean Baker, co-founder and senior economist for the Center for Economic and Policy Research, or KERPR, also took note of this split in the U.S. economy, and he cited the latest data showing that real gross domestic income, which more directly measures worker compensation over total economic output, grew at just 2.4% during the third quarter. Baker also said that most of the gains in gross domestic income showed up at the top of the income ladder, while workers' income growth remained stagnant. What else is new? Yeah. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. That phrase has been around for a long time, and it's no less true today. The theme of a split economy also showed up in an analysis from Politico financial services reporter Sam Sutton, published on Wednesday, which cited recent data from Bank of America showing that the bank's top account holders saw take-home pay climb 4% over last year, while income growth for poorer households grew just 1.4%. And you have to remember, the number was already low. So if it grows by 1.4%, it's still a low number. Just saying. Ron Insano. Insano in the membrano. I'm insano, got no braino. Sorry. You have to have at least one Cypress Hill reference per show. That's in the contract. Sutton said that this divergence in fortunes between America's wealthy and everyone else was showing up in polling that shows U.S. voters sour on the state of the economy. Yeah, because they're all up in it. They're all saying, I don't know which economy Trump's talking about, but the economy that I'm participating in right now sucks balls and big green donkey dicks. In survey after survey, a majority of Americans say they're straining under pressure of rising living expenses and a softening job market, Sutton said. The Federal Reserve Bank of Boston says low-income consumers have substantially higher levels of credit card debt than they did before the pandemic. Yeah. Even as growth in asset prices soar, Trump's approval ratings are sagging. Economist Paul Krugman on Tuesday, that asshole, argued in a Substack newsletter that one reason for this large disparity in economic outcomes has to do with the U.S. labor market, which has ground to a halt in recent months, lowering workers' options for employment and thus lowering their ability to push prospective employers for higher wages. Trump may claim that we are economically the hottest country in the world, but the truth is that we last had a hot labor market back in 2023 to 24, Krugman explained. Yeah, it wasn't that hot either. At this point, by contrast, we have a frozen job market in which workers who aren't already employed are having a very hard time finding new jobs, a sharp contrast with the Biden years during which workers said it was very easy to find a new job. And that's bullshit too. It just wasn't as hard as it is now. None of these caveats about the latest gross domestic, the GDP, none of these caveats about the latest GDP data stopped U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick from going on Fox News on a Tuesday night and falsely claiming that a 4.3% rise in GDP meant that Americans overall, all of us, are going to earn 4.3% more money. Oh, God, this bitch. Yikes. I thought we had seen the last of her. In reality, GDP is the sum of a nation's consumer spending, government spending, net exports, and total investments, and is not directly correlated with individuals' personal income. But this lying motherfucker will tell you otherwise. There he is. Look at him. And then this scarecrow. Jeez. Wow. Yeah. So you didn't need You didn't need Dollar Tree Santa Claus to tell you that the economy sucks. I'm pretty much figured that you figured that out already. Pretty sure you figured that out already, right? How are we doing so far? Everybody good? How's your Christmas going so far, guys? Everything good? If you're with family or friends, hope you're having a good time. If you're by yourself, you're not really by yourself. We're here. You can hang out with us. We'll be here for a little bit. We're just looking at the news, just seeing what's going on. Oh, you know what? What? We could, you know what we could do? I forgot to do this. I'm so silly. I don't know why I forgot to do this. We need to do an in memoriam kind of thing. I think that's okay. Who died this year? Do you remember who died this year? We can do that. You get to a certain age, and then you start saying, to other people your age, "Hey, you heard so-and-so died, didn't you?" Wow, yeah. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. You always talk about other people dying. So let's talk about these people that died. Here on the magic picture box. So filmmaker David Lynch. I don't remember David Lynch dying, but I guess he did. David Lynch, famous for cult classics like Twin Peaks and the biopic Elephant Man, died in January at age 78. In February, Oscar-winning actor Gene Hackman was found dead alongside his wife Betsy Arakawa inside their New Mexico home. It was later determined that Hackman, who had been suffering from Alzheimer's, died of heart disease. He was 95. His wife had died of hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. So basically what happened, nobody came to check on him, I don't think, or if they did, they didn't know they were both dead. And she died before, and he had no idea what was going on, and he was so far gone with the Alzheimer's, he didn't know where his pills were. He didn't know any of that. And then he ended up dying too. They say heart disease, but he went out. It was not good. I didn't know. That's Hollywood news. That's not big news. I mean, it is big news because I like David Lynch. I liked him as a director. He was good. It's sad. I do remember boxing legend and entrepreneur George Foreman dying in March at age 76. Following month, pro wrestler Hulk Hogan died of cardiac arrest at 71. Yeah. Did you ever have a Foreman grill? I had a Foreman grill once, and I used to make lemon pepper chicken. I've never cooked chicken in a pan. The only time I've ever cooked chicken was in a Foreman grill because I knew that shit was going to get cooked. I do it in a pan. I'm like, Some of you foodies out there are like, well, if you just do, I don't want a lesson. I don't want to cook chicken in a pan. Give me a Foreman grill. I go with my strengths. Larry Fisher in the house. We all died a little bit more this year. Good to see you working hard on Christmas and killing it, so to speak. Good to see you, Larry. Larry's my old pal from Brooklyn. The Junk Man. Larry the Junk Man. Larry, you got to get back on YouTube, man. I miss seeing your crazy Junkman videos. Please do so. Good to see you, friend. Virginia Giuffre, whose sexual assault allegations against Prince Andrew resulted in him being stripped of his titles, died by suicide in April. Her memoir about her abuse at the hands of Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell was published posthumously in October, amplifying calls to release the Epstein files. On June 11th, Brian Wilson, co-founder of the iconic band The Beach Boys, died at 82. Journalist Bill Moyers, who served as President Lyndon B. Johnson's chief spokesman during the Vietnam War era, died at 91 in June. Ozzy Osbourne, course, he died at 76. He had been diagnosed with Parkinson's in 2003 and played a farewell show with Black Sabbath just weeks before his death. And astronaut Jim Lovell celebrated commander of the harrowing Apollo 13 missions. He died at 97 years old. And in September, Hollywood legend Robert Redford. I never thought that. I thought that guy made a deal with the devil a long time ago and was never going to die, but I guess he didn't. The multi-hyphenate actor? What? Oh, actor, director, producer, activist, and founder of the Sundance Film Festival died in his sleep at 89. Italian fashion designer Giorgio Armani, known for his unstructured designs for men and women that liberated them from restrictive tailoring. Oh, yes, the oppressive restrictive tailoring that is the bane of all of our existences. Also died in September. He was 91. Dr. Jane Goodall, the conservationist who devoted her life to studying chimpanzees, died at 91 on October 1st. While on a speaking tour, her discovery that humans weren't the only species to make and use tools dismantled long-held scientific beliefs, reshaping humanity's understanding of its place in the natural world. But again, trust the science. Hey, Kim, Merry Chrimmuh to you. A lot of big-name actors died this year. Diane Keaton, star of classic movies like Annie Hall and The First Wives Club, died in October 79 from pneumonia. Val Kilmer, famous for his roles as Iceman in Top Gun and Batman in Batman Forever, died from pneumonia at 65. I think he was suffering from something else, too, at the time. I think he had like a quick cameo in that Top Gun sequel, and I'm like, oh my God, really? That propaganda piece of shit. In November, Dick Cheney, former vice president under George W. Bush, Darth Vader, and prime architect of the war on terror that led America into war with Iraq, died at 84. Hell is a lot more stupid at this time. Later that month, playwright Tom Stoppard, the Oscar-winning screenwriter of Shakespeare in Love, died at 88. On December 5th, Frank O'Gary, one of the most unique talents in American architecture, died at his home in Santa Monica, California. He was 96. And, of course, Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle Singer-Ryder, were found dead from stab wounds in their L.A. home. Their son has been charged with the murder. Of course, Reiner was known for films The Princess Bride, A Few Good Men, and When Harry Met Sally. Of course, Meathead, and All in the Family. So there you go. That's your death toll of people you may or may not know for 2025. Yeah, Mary Intifada. I put my junk on YouTube. It's just small and in the way. Great documentary on Goodall. I think it's on Netflix. Oh, good. Yeah, Tom Stoppard. I didn't know who that was, but yeah, yeah. Or maybe I didn't recognize his name. That's crazy, right? All these people dying this year. Larry, do you still have the same YouTube channel? If you do, let me know. Because I want to put you in the mix. I want to see more stuff from Larry. Larry's great. Larry had in his home in Brooklyn, he had a big garage, and it was just full of all kinds of just stuff from, books, comic books, and all kinds of just kitsch things, I guess. And he himself is a character. I do have to thank Larry for letting me come on his comedy shows at Don Pedro in Brooklyn, which was a bar that was literally in a condemned building. If you're going to do comedy, you're going to do stand-up comedy, the best place to do it, in my opinion, is in a condemned building. So Larry, I love you, brother. I appreciate you for that. And that's some of the best times I've had in Brooklyn. Having a beer and a shot, doing a set that makes no sense, and listening to good comedians. That's what it's all about. So thanks for that, my friend. What else we got going on today? Let's do one more story. We'll get out of here. I thought I was going to keep this to an hour, but I just don't know anymore. Okay. So this, I promise you, hemp card. I have not forgotten you, my friend. Let's look at this. This is what Hempcar over on Rumble. He sent this link, or he. I'm pretty sure you're he, right? I'm gonna say Yo sent this. We are all eating nanotechnology. That's crazy. Wait a minute. Is that too big? Let's try that. So this is from PBS SoCal. Michael Crichton was always a bit of an alarmist. In his novels, he exploited the simple concept that everyone from Bram Stoker to Alfred Hitchcock had mastered. Take something people experience every day and make it kill them. For Stoker, it was open windows. For Hitchcock, it was roadside motels. For Crichton, it was technology. Jurassic Park was about the bad things that happen when you start messing with DNA. Airframe was alarming because it played on the thought that goes through everyone's mind before takeoff. Just how safe is this anyway? In his 2002 novel, Prey was all about what can happen when nanotechnology, microscopic computers invisible to the human eye, goes haywire. At the time, this seemed to be Crichton at his most over the top. Just how big of a problem could these tiny computers really be? But Prey is actually turning out to be more prescient than pessimistic. It's just that the nanobots aren't swarming outside our bodies. They're attacking from the insides. Well, I got some shit inside me that'd be like, robots? Yeah, come on. Oh, yeah, we lost Gil Gerard, too. Buck Rogers, B. R.I.P. King. Okay, so at least that's where my head immediately went while reading the adequately scary Eating Nano in E! Magazine. The article, which appeared in last month's issue, details exactly how nanotechnology has found its way into our food supply. Just like GMOs, their existence was meant to help out. They supposedly deliver more nutrients to our bodies, keep food fresher longer, for longer periods, even enhance taste, which is all well and good, except that in regards to nanotechnology, safety testing is treated in a we'll fix it when it's broke kind of way. At the moment, there's not much information available on the topic of ingested nanoparticles in human health, said Birgit Gazer, PhD, a postdoctoral research fellow at Heriot-Watt University in the UK. Some nanoparticles are present in the human diet, for example, titanium dioxide in food products and cosmetics, and silver, which is sold as a nutritional supplement. Silver also, I believe, or is it mercury? Turns your skin blue, which is sold as a nutritional supplement. There is evidence that a small percentage of these particles or particle components like silver ions, which can be released in stomach acid, can move on from the intestinal tract into the blood and reach other organs. Anonymous. Happy Boxing Day. Isn't it? No. That's like 7 o'clock over there. It's still Christmas. Moose over there in the UK. In other words, small robots that can move about your body as they please. Among the foods most likely to have nanotech, foods with caramelized sugar, nutritional supplements, toothpaste, gums, M&Ms, Jell-O banana cream pudding. That's oddly specific. Pop-Tarts, Mentos, Nestle Original Coffee Creamer, and even purified water. Purified by robots. One of the scariest elements of the article isn't that these pieces of nanotechnology are harmful to the human bodies. It's that no one knows if they're harmful. Testing has been nearly non-existent. The FDA, the governing body we put in charge to keep bad things from entering our bodies. Yeah, right. There was a little thing called a pandemic. Might want to reference that. Doesn't even have a list of foods that contain nanotechnology. From an email exchange quoted in the article with an FDA rep that says, this is E! Magazine. What can you tell me about the prevalence of nanomaterials in our food supply? And Sebastian Cianci from the FDA. FDA does not have a list of food products that contain nanomaterials. So E! Magazine says, where are nanomaterials most often found within food products? In colorings or additives? And Sebastian says, FDA does not maintain a list of food products that contain nanomaterials, so we cannot reliably answer this question. That's something that would even keep Michael Crichton awake at night, which all means that if you were worried about the labeling of GMOs in our food, then you have something else on your plate now. See how you see what they did there with the thing in the plate? Yeah, well, we all know that microplastics are in everything too. So not only you have microplastics, you also have nanobots somewhere in your body and doing God knows what. You know, when us kids were playing Atari 2600, we never thought technology was going to get to this point until we started seeing the Terminator movies. And then, well, you know, yeah, nanotech in your food. Sure. I mean, that's probably the least that's in there. The least of your worries is the nanobots. God knows what else is in there. I just got into LA with Rack to surprise my mother-in-law. She hates knickknacks and presents, so I bought her New York bagels. Let's talk this week, love. What you're doing. Here's a new song from my album, The New Age of Cosmic Horror. Go eat a schmear. My buddy Larry. He is a mensch for sure. Let me copy that. Can I copy that? Thank you. Yeah, we're here. Let's check this out. We got a few minutes. No. What the shit? Maybe. Oh, here we go. Let's try that. Nope. Where is it? Why is it? Oh, okay. Okay. Pardon me, folks. So that Atari Berserker should have been included. I know, right? Hang on a second. I'm trying to. There we go. Let's try that. There we go. Because I want this. I'll break in your home for Christmas. Is this it? Okay, the new age of cosmic horror. 2 minutes, 47 seconds. You know what? Let's watch this. This is from my buddy Larry Fisher. Let me okay. So if y'all want to check this out yourself, check out my buddy. And let's have a little something here. To this, what is this again? This is Faculty X, The Age of Cosmic Horrors, The Electric Circle. I haven't seen this. I'm sure it's great, and I'm sure it's crazy, and I'm sure it probably doesn't fit the format of the show today. And you know what? Don't care. Let's watch.
Extra
It's Krampus for the rest of us.
Out of our fears, of what we become.
I can't wear these because they're green. Yeah. So that was my buddy Larry. Let me see here. Where are you? There we go. Directed by Larry Fisher and William Hohauser. Larry does good work. I appreciate you, Larry. I know. There's a delay too. You guys should hear me now. Cowboy Kitty. Good to see you, bud. Happy. I don't know if it's much better if you can hear me. Probably not. But you know, it is what it is. Folks, again, before we get out of here, let's remember our friends that need help in the space. Let's remember our mutual aid pals. Our Justice for Aspen. If you could help her out, we appreciate it. Our buddy Chanda, who's battling cancer and needs your help. Our buddy Cowboy Kitty, his sister-in-law Natalia needs help with legal funds. And then our folks, NoliDee and Kevin, who both lost their homes in fires and could use your help. All the links are down below in the description. Like, again, I always say this, if you can't financially help, if you could share out the links, tell your friends that you have pals in this space that need your help desperately, not just this time of year, but a year round. We're always looking to try to help people as much as we can. Even a little bit helps is how it works. So that's it for me today. Just some programming notes. I do believe we're going to have a New Year's Eve show next Wednesday, which would be New Year's Eve. Laine and I will be back on Wednesday for the Undercurrent. If you're not watching the Undercurrent, just check it out on YouTube, the Undercurrent, the number 4 NYOU. Okay, so this is an update for Natalia. They've appealed Natalia's deportation. It cost $1,100. Yeah. And that is not chump change either. So if you could help out, the links are down below for her. And like I said, our other pals too, if you can help them out. I'll be back here Wednesday on New Year's Eve for the Undercurrent at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific time with my buddy Laine P. Auntie Laine. Should be good times. And then the New Year's Eve show that night. And then the regular shows will be back in January, probably. Let me look at a thing. I don't want to make any announcements without saying something. Looks like I'm going to be shooting for January 12th to come back because I want to make some updates and changes to the shows, some fix 'em ups and fuck 'em ups and all that stuff, pick 'em ups. Yeah, Warren Claus, jingle all the way. I appreciate all you guys coming out for hanging out for a couple hours on Christmas Day. If you haven't opened up your present, go get your presents. If you're not into that sort of thing, enjoy your day, enjoy your Christmas. Again, this show probably back on Tuesday. God damn it, I gotta do this again. Me and numbers. So yeah, this is the Tuesday Friday show. Although there may be changes to the timing of these shows too. I'm considering doing some revamping too. So the week of January 11th, I will believe that's when the shows will be coming back. Yes. Okay, good. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your holidays. Be safe. Don't fall for bullshit. Use your critical thinking skills. Stay out of the cults. Use your own mind and, trust but verify. Be skeptical. There's nothing wrong with being skeptical at all. Doesn't make you a dick. It just makes you skeptical. And in this day and age, skepticism is at a premium. So thank you, everybody. Appreciate you. Yeah. Once I get back to the North Pole, everything will be cool. Happy New Year to you, Moose, over there in the UK. All our people around the world, we appreciate you. Love you very much. Take care of yourselves and each other. We'll see you on the flip side. Peace.
This is City Alpha 5. Woo!